Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, Barakatam. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to Yakim out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the brother Raya with another video, and I'm going to start off with Revelation chapter 11, verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. And this is the time the hopeful elect, which Yahweh willing I'm of that number, diligently waiting for, when Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai returns to give them salvation and put them back in their rightful seat of rulership, so we can begin to put this world back in order, put you heathens under our subjection, and as it says, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Take you Edomites or so-called white people out of your power position, because ever since you came into power during the Renaissance, the beginning of your little season, the whole world's languished under your watch. The air is polluted, the water's polluted, the land's polluted, food's polluted, and people are polluted. And if y'all were allowed to rule indefinitely, there would be nothing left. The earth would be a desert wasteland. And we'll just see some of your wicked works in this article I'll be reading from on the Huffington Post, titled "Humans Are Pooping Plastic and No One's Certain How Bad That Is." There's a frightening lack of research about plastic's effects on human health. When Philip Schwabel asked 8 healthy people on 4 continents to take part in an experiment to see if plastic was present in their bodies, he had little idea what to expect. The Medical University of Vienna researcher, who specializes in stomach disorders, asked them to keep a food diary for a week and record whether they had drunk water from plastic bottles, what brands of toothpaste and cosmetics they had used, and whether they had chewed gum. Salakia. None were vegetarian, all had consumed plastic-wrapped food, and most had consumed fish. They were then asked to send a piece of their stool to an Austrian government laboratory, where it was tested to identify barely visible microplastic particles, which are smaller than 5 millimeters long. The study published in August confirmed for the first time that microplastics are deep inside humans. All 8 volunteers were found to have particles of most of the 9 most common classes of plastics, including polypropylene and PET. On average, Schwabel found 20 particles per 10 grams of stool. Now, in the past, did people have microplastics in their body? No. It only came to pass under the rulership of Esau Edom, the so-called white man. I did not think all the samples would be positive, Schwabel said. There is data on microplastics being present in shrimps, fish, oysters, and mussels. So that pretty much it pretty much shows that the majority of you Americans, especially in the South, are full of these microplastics, since these unlawful foods are a delicacy to you. But there was a question over whether they were present in humans. It is highly likely that during various steps of food processing, or as a result of packaging, food is being contaminated with plastics. The smallest particles are capable of entering the bloodstream, the lymphatic system, and may even reach the liver, he added. We need further research to understand what this may mean for human health. Back in Revelation 11 and 18, to destroy him which destroyed the earth. A clutch of studies looking at large plastic fragments in oceans has recently shown the world's most ubiquitous materials to be present from the poles to the equator and to be growing environmental hazard. Plastic in marine environments is now widely recognized to be a threat to many marine species, and it's not just a threat, but it's a common threat, and a lot of marine wild species is dying. There's always stories coming out of whales beaching themselves on land because they can't deal with the toxicity of the oceans, all thanks again to Esau Edom, the so-called white man. This is a real quick article on designboom.com. Plastic pollution kills another whale after digesting 64 pounds of trash. It has been revealed that the death of a sperm whale found washed up on the southern coast of Spain in February was caused by 64 pounds of plastic debris found digested by the animal. An autopsy found plastic bags, nets, ropes, plastic sacks, and even a plastic jerry can in the whale's stomach and intestines. And people weren't this damn wasteful or inconsiderate to the earth in the past. It's only after the world's been given into the hands of the basest of men, Esau, Edom, that the people became this way. Because as the ruler is, so are the people. Esau is very wasteful. They joke around wasting food and water just because they can. And because they're putting that vibration out to the world, the rest of these people are doing the same, just discarding their trash into the wildlife. The new awareness of plastic pollution is leading scientists to ask afresh how much the human body is being polluted. Look at this madness right here. All this non-biodegradable plastic. Global plastic production has increased from 16.5 million tons a year in the 1960s to over 364 million tons a year now, and is expected to triple by 2050. Studies have found plastic fibers and fragments present throughout the food chain in plankton and fish larvae, bottled and tap water, seafoods, honey, and salt. One analysis of 259 water bottles from 19 places in 9 countries found an average of 325 plastic particles in every liter of water. One widely sold brand had concentrations of about 10,000 particles per liter, and only 17 of the 259 bottles contained water that was free of plastic. And unless you have BPA-free containers or glass or metal drinking vessels, then you're getting contaminated by plastic every day. One other research has shown plastic particles shed from degrading car tires present in the air we breathe, in the street, in homes from washing of synthetic clothes, and in soil via sludge from water treatment works that is used as a fertilizer. So pretty much everywhere you turn, you're getting contaminated by these microplastics. And this all wasn't by coincidence. It was all a part of design to fulfill Esau's depopulation agenda as pursuant to the Georgia Guidestones. Just take a look around you right now and see how many pieces of plastic you're surrounded by. With global plastic production increasing from 16.5 million tons a year in the 1960s to over 364 million tons a year now and expected to triple by 2050, research is needed to gauge what effect growing human exposure to it may be having, says scientists. Plastic is non-degradable. It cannot be broken down and has the potential to persist in our bodies for a lifetime after exposure, said Stephanie Wright, a researcher at the University College London who specializes in microscopic plastic pollution. Concern is growing that many man-made chemicals added to consumer plastics to give them qualities like stiffness or transparency may contain hormone-altering chemicals that have barely been tested. According to one study, detectable levels of bisphenol A, one of the group of toxic plastics, has been found in the urine of 95% of the adult population of the U.S. I got a real quick video on bisphenol A and how detrimental it is.
When you open up a can, you may not notice the lining inside, but believe it or not, that lining may contain a synthetic estrogen. That's right, a sex hormone, and it's in almost every single can we consume. As part of a Fox 5 investigation, we decided to have some of the cans of food you eat every day tested, and wait until you see the results.
This could be your table any day of the week. A delicious plate of pasta, topped with tomato sauce, some hearty soup, a tuna fish sandwich, a side of green peas. Food that millions of Americans consume daily. But wait until you see what could be inside your food.
This is a chemical that the people who put it into plastic were insane.
His name is Dr. Fred von Saal. He's a professor of biology.
You got a Edomite saying it, so you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans know it's true.
At the University of Missouri. You may not know his name, but you probably know his work. He recently created a huge uproar within the scientific community after releasing a study on plastic baby bottles and the controversial chemical many of these bottles are made with, called bisphenol A.
This is a chemical that in 1936 was considered for use as a estrogen drug. Then in the 1950s, some tricky chemists found that they could link this chemical together and it creates a hard, clear, glass-like plastic.
And this glass-like plastic is sprayed into cans we buy every day.
The only problem with that is the plastic is then made from a sex hormone.
And it's virtually in every can of food we consume. And according to Dr. Vamsal, bisphenol A is a big problem because he says it leaches into the foods we eat.
And when you heat this plastic or put tomato sauce in it, the acid degrades the plastic, and then the food that's in there is full of this sex hormone.
Dr. Vamsal says they have tested bisphenol A in animals, and the results are disturbing.
We started testing it at levels tens of thousands of times below what anybody had ever tested before, and found that it profoundly damaged the male reproductive system. Now we know it causes brain damage, and it causes breast cancer and prostate cancer.
There you go. Part of the Georgia Guidestones to keep the population under 500 million, and you see how it's mainly affecting males. There's a lot of estrogen mimickers in it as well, so that's why you're seeing an uptick in homosexuality. Just complete madness. Now I'm going to go to Isaiah 24, verse 4 through 5. The earth mourneth and fadeth away, because the earth has been given into the hands of the wicked. You Edomites are so-called white people. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, being under that wasteful vibration of Esau, Edom, using all these plastics and discarding them into the earth, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenant.